What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Sports Lovers, where we talk everything in sports. I'm your host, Grant Sullivan, and today we are going to be predicting the SEC Conference Tournament. It is tournament time here. We are excited for March Madness. It is officially Champ Week. South Alabama did lose. I had them winning in the Sun Belt bracket. I will talk about the ACC Tournament bracket as well. So we'll get into the SEC and the ACC Tournament preview, as well as the two main conferences for the week that I am most excited about this week. But first, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. I'm recording this at currently like 8:30, so it is currently late here. But regardless, we are going to hop right into the video, talk about the ACC bracket first, as two games have already been played today. We'll go over those results as well, and then we'll get you the bracket for the next one as well, which will be the SEC Conference Tournament. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and hop right in to the ACC men's bracket. Okay, so there were three games today. I think one game is currently going on right now as I am recording this video. But the first game, I had Georgia Tech beating Florida State, and yes, that happened. It was an insane comeback for Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech moves on to play Pitt in the second round of the ACC tournament. In the second game, I had Boston College upsetting Louisville, and that happened. Boston College absolutely murdered Louisville. It wasn't even close. It was like 83-53 or something. And then in this game, it was Virginia Tech and Notre Dame, and I have Virginia Tech beating Notre Dame in the third game of the first round of this tournament. Moving on to the second round of the NCAA ACC men's tournament. Wake Forest and Syracuse. I have Wake Forest winning this game. I have them pulling off the upset. I know Syracuse can be vulnerable at times. We've seen this every year. Syracuse gets hot, and then they stop getting hot as well. I have Wake Forest upsetting the Syracuse Orange in this tournament, but I don't think Syracuse season will end right there. Moving on, I have Georgia Tech and Pittsburgh. I have Pitt winning this game. Obviously, they're the number 5 seed. Georgia Tech is a 13 seed. Who would have thought Pittsburgh is going to win this game? I mean, it's pretty obvious who's going to win that game as well. Moving on, Boston College and North Carolina. I have North Carolina beating Boston College. It's 7-10. Not that bad of a draw for Boston College, but I have North Carolina beating Boston College and moving on to the quarterfinals, which will hopefully give them more NCAA tournament rights, and hopefully it will secure their spot in the NCAA tournament. Moving on to the final game of the second round, Virginia Tech and NC State. I have Virginia Tech with the upset over NC State. NC State has looked on and off at times this season. I expect that to continue. I expect them to be off tomorrow night as they play a Virginia Tech team that has been hot recently. Hopefully they will win tonight as I'm recording this video. I don't know the score update. I will try to get it out as well. But Virginia Tech is going on to the quarterfinals. Now, the quarterfinals, 4 games in the quarterfinals. Number 1, Miami going against Wake Forest. Miami got that double bye. I'm going to pick Miami here. I mean, it's plain and simple. Miami's the best team in the ACC. No question about it. They have looked hot all season long, and I expect that to continue heading into the NCAA tournament. But in the championship game, we'll talk about that later. The second game is number 4, Duke playing number 5, Pitt. This is going to be a good 4 and 5 matchup. I think it will be close. I have Duke winning against Pitt, and then them going on to play Miami in the semifinal number 1 of the ACC men's tournament. Moving on, Virginia and UNC. I thought about picking UNC here because they need it more than Virginia does, but I'm going to stick with Virginia, and they are going to move on to the semifinal round, which is Friday, March 10th. Virginia's going to go to the semifinal. It's plain and simple right there. Clemson and Virginia Tech. Again, I struggled with this pick as well because I don't really know much about these two teams. I'm going to say Clemson, though, because they are the better seed here. They're the 3 seed versus an 11 seed. I mean, really, I think Virginia Tech's magical run will end here in the quarterfinals of the NCAA ACC men's tournament. Excuse me. Moving on to the first semifinal, it's going to be a very, very good semifinal. Both semifinal games are going to be close. Miami and Duke. Now, I struggled with this pick a lot. I almost wrote down Duke because of what they've done this year without Coach K. Their first year back with Coach K, but I'm going to pick Miami to win this game. It will be close. It will be back and forth. Miami will probably win it off a last-second game winner shot. And I expect Miami to take the dub here against Duke. In the semifinals, Duke's season does not end, though, and I expect them to go to the men's tournament as well. Moving on is Virginia and Clemson in the semifinal. I'm picking Virginia flat out here. I think Virginia is going to sweep Clemson. Again, I don't really know much about Clemson, but I do know that Virginia lost to UNC that final week. I believe they were resting everybody, though. So I expect Virginia to be healthy, and I expect Virginia to make it to the championship game. And the championship game, the ACC Men's Tournament Champions, is the Virginia Cavaliers. I expect Virginia to win the championship game, bump up their seeding spot. I believe they're 3 or 4 right now. If they win, I believe they will be a 2 or a 3, which will put them in great position for the NCAA tournament. Again, excuse me. Virginia is your ACC men's basketball champions. Now, moving on to the SEC, the one everybody has been waiting for. This is a tough conference to play in. Got my bracket here. Game 1 is going to be Ole Miss and South Carolina. This is going to be a long video, guys. Ole Miss, I have upsetting South Carolina. I think Ole Miss, after firing their coach, will go on a hot streak and beat South Carolina, but it won't be enough in the quarterfinal. In the second round, I expect Ole Miss to beat South Carolina, and LSU and Georgia in the first round. LSU is favored, and I'm going to take that favored pick as LSU will move on to play Vandy in the second round. Moving on to the second round, Mississippi State and Florida. I've got Florida in this game. They are the better team here. Florida's got some work to do if they want to get into the NCAA tournament. I expect them to finish that work against Mississippi State and secure, hopefully, a spot in the NCAA tournament. Moving on, Ole Miss and Tennessee. I've got Tennessee beating Ole Miss. Obviously, it's a 12 versus 5 seed, or a 13 versus 5 seed. Even worse. There's your reasons right there. I expect Ole Miss to lose in the second round. Moving on is Auburn and Arkansas. We've got to get hot. We beat Tennessee coming off a win against Tennessee. My 3 keys to the game were correct. Wendell Green got hot, which opened up the floor for a bunch of other shooters to shoot. We played great defense all around. I expect us to do that the same against Arkansas. Moving into the quarterfinals playing A&M. I expect Auburn to go out with a bang in the SEC tournament second round and get the dub against Arkansas. Moving on, the final game in the second round, LSU and Vanderbilt. Now, I expect Vandy to completely wipe the slate clean against LSU. LSU's not that great of a basketball team. We've seen this in the regular season, and I just expect that to come to a close in the SEC tournament. Moving on, game number 1 of the quarterfinals, Alabama taking on the Florida Gators, if my predictions stand correct. I have Alabama moving on to the semifinals. It's plain and simple. Alabama's probably the best team in the country. Hate to say it, but they are the best team in the country. Brandon Miller is elite. They've got Beniaco as well. They've got a few other supporting cast members behind them who could shoot the 3 ball as well. I expect them to be hot going in this SEC tournament coming off of that loss against A&M. And I expect Alabama to take the dub against Florida, moving them into the semifinal round on Saturday. Moving on, Missouri and Tennessee, 4 versus 5 here. I'm going to go ahead and pick Tennessee. Tennessee is going to be hot. They want this win for their boy who is out right now. They're coming off a loss at Auburn. I expect that to be a bounce-back win against Missouri. And Missouri obviously got really lucky that Tennessee lost. Otherwise, they would have to play in the second round. But I'm going with my gut, and my gut says that Tennessee is going to win this game and move to the semifinal game against Alabama, number 1. Moving on, Texas A&M and Auburn, and I struggle with this pick a lot. I think Auburn will play a very, very close game to Texas A&M, but I don't think it will be enough to beat A&M, as I have Texas A&M going on to the semifinal matchup playing Kentucky. Kentucky is going to beat Vandy. It's a 3 versus 6. Should be a really interesting game, but I expect Kentucky to overcome that, and Kentucky will get the dub, which will hopefully secure their berth in the NCAA tournament once again. Moving on to the 2 semifinal games, Alabama and Tennessee, Texas A&M, Kentucky. We'll talk about A&M and Kentucky first. It's a 2 versus 3, but I think A&M is absolutely going to blow Kentucky out of the water. I think that's a hot take of mine. I just think that's bound to happen for Kentucky. Their magical run has to end somewhere, and I expect Kentucky to take the L against Texas A&M. I struggle with this pick a lot, but in the end, I think A&M is going to win, whether it be close or a blowout. And the second semifinal game, Alabama versus Tennessee. Alabama's looking to get revenge on Tennessee. I expect them to do the same. In the semifinals on Saturday, Alabama will take the dub against Tennessee in the SEC semifinals, which will move them to the championship game, in which we have Alabama playing Texas A&M in Nashville. This is going to be an exciting back-and-forth offensive scoring game. A&M won the first matchup, but I believe everybody was resting. They didn't really have anything to play for, and I expect Texas A&M to absolutely get blown out by Alabama. Alabama's trying to lock up that #1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament, and they can do that if they win this SEC tournament, I believe. But that is all for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you think about the ACC men's bracket and the SEC. Again, you guys will be seeing this on Wednesday. So everything in the first and second rounds will have already happened for the ACC men's basketball tournament. But let me know what you think about the picks in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you guys in Friday's video. No video on Thursday as we have competition on Thursday. But Friday's video will be a franchise video, and Monday's video hopefully will also be a franchise video as well. Can't wait to get some more gameplay out. We are 3-0, I believe, in that franchise. Hopefully we can win the Super Bowl, and I will have to buy a Tom Brady jersey. That was the promise at the beginning of the season. Going to keep him and see what we can do with Tom Brady as our quarterback. But let me know in the comments, again, what you think about this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and share. And I will see you guys in Friday's video. Peace.